Welcome to my practice for today, 10/7/2020. One of the big shifts in the yoga world in the last few years has been the recognition by psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists that yoga is a very effective means for healing trauma. In the book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, which I highly recommend, he talks about how we're learning that experiences of trauma often are fragmented in memory or even not remembered consciously in order to protect your psyche. And so what they're learning is that through physical practices like yoga and EMDR, people are able to bring together stories that have been fragmented in their minds in order to help to understand trauma in their bodies. I've been working with a therapist recently. I love working with the therapist because they bring in that perspective of mental health. They have a perspective of helping you to understand the things that you're working through. And but at the same time, they're not you. They don't know your whole story. They only know what you tell them. That's sort of the value of therapy, is to tell your story. And when I work with yoga, I feel like it's like having the world's best therapist there with me, because I'm able to listen to my own body and what my body needs, and also explore emotional responses that come up as I move into different positions. You can see that I started to move into restorative practices. In this practice right about here, the practice is shifting. Restorative poses are held for longer periods of time. They're usually done in a way where your body weight is keeping your weight up, and so you're not having to work so hard in them. These poses stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you to find calm and ease. It takes longer to stimulate a relaxation response in your body, and so these poses are held longer. This posture, I have set a timer for 10 minutes in Viparita Karate, legs up the wall pose, one of the most relaxing and calming poses. And this one, you can see you don't really need a lot of experience to do this pose. Just put your butt on some kind of pillow or bolster, stick your legs up the wall, and it's very calming. I recommend it even if you have very little yoga experience. And then this one also, where you're lying on the floor, it's also very stimulating to the parasympathetic nervous system and calming. And then I ended with a meditation of 30 minutes like I usually do. I like to do the same amount of time each time. So what I tend to find happens in my 30 minutes of meditation is that for about 5 minutes I'm just kind of settling in. And then for about the next 5 to 10 minutes, I often am observing different emotions arise. Memories, my thoughts just going to a particular person. And what helps me to move through those emotional states is to, first of all, identify the emotions underneath it, and then also to identify what unmet needs might be there. Because if I'm experiencing a negative emotion, sadness, or even a positive emotion, like what is that need that's being met or not being met through that's like bringing my mind to these emotions. And then I find that once I am able to identify my emotions more clearly, then that's when I kind of let go of the thoughts and can move into a more relaxed state. Today, I would say my practice was on scale 1 to 10, like maybe like a 6. Like I ended feeling calmer than I came in, but it wasn't like, wow, I just feel amazing. And when you practice on a regular basis, you have those days where things are pretty good, things where things aren't so good, and then you get to show up for the days when things are great. So this was how I work with emotions. I hope you found it useful. Love to have you join me for yoga. Come to my website, gabb.co, to learn more about how I teach and sign up to study.